A third major form of training is apprentice model training, which is very effective when combined with rewarding consequence and experiential models. So here are the 5 basic steps of apprenticeship. I do, you watch. Second is, we do it together. Third is, you do and I watch. I'm kind of the safety backup, if you will. Fourth is, you do and you call me for help if you need help, but I think you've got this. And 5 is, you do. And if you call me for help, I'm probably going to say, you got this, figure it out, I'll live with whatever you do. All right? Now, a rule of thumb that the Amish use is from age 0 to 7, children are basically a drain on the house. From age 7 to 14, children should be able to pretty well take care of themselves. They don't require resources, but they don't bring anything in. From age 14 on, children bring resources into the house. So if you kind of apply that to this model, from age 0 to 7, and let's just talk about cooking, right? That's just one facet of family life and household management. From age 0 to 7, you're kind of right here. And really, if you've ever had a 5-year-old help you cook, it's more a hindrance than it is help, right? But it's an important step of the way. Then from age 7 to 14, they should be progressing through stages 3 and 4. And in some ways, they'll be done at 5. They should be able to do some simple meals by themselves. But by the time they're age 14, for sure, and when they get closer to moving out of the house, they should be able to plan the meal, plan the budget, go do the shopping, come back, totally fix the meal, and not need any help. Now, it's that way in all sorts of responsibilities, not just cooking. Yes, it's different for every child, but you're the parent, you pray, you figure it out, you design the circumstances, and you do the training. I'm rooting for you.
Thanks for that listing, David. And it just goes to show that modeling is really one of the most important parts of training our children, us modeling well. And this happens because we have mirror neurons in our brain that help us learn throughout our life, and it begins at birth. Even in the important area of emotions. Our children's brains are learning from our brains through mirror neurons how to handle the world. And if we are ambivalent or uncaring about our own or our children's emotions, our children learn to be ambivalent or uncaring about them. And this can cause problems later on with marriages or children's or jobs. If we are unpredictable in our emotions, if we are intrusive into our children's quiet playtime, they can learn to be anxious and fearful, and will have trouble concentrating on challenging or important things because they're trained that something's going to swoop in and interrupt them at any time. Now, our goal with our children is to help them feel felt. What does that mean? Well, it's something that you and I desire as adults. We want to know that someone understands us and understands our emotion. We need that companionship. So here are some things we can do. Number 1, be aware of our children's emotions. Give them the response that you would want to have if you felt that emotion. Now, I know sometimes they are way off the charts in how they do that, but they learn from us how to modulate their response in their emotions. You can, too, listen empathetically, listen responsively when they are telling their story. Respond with open-ended questions rather than value statements such as, well, that was pretty dumb. When they are playing, especially when they are playing quietly, have respect for how they are settled and quiet, and don't just swoop in and change the scenery and drag them off to something new. Give them a warning. You would want a warning if you were going to be interrupted in that way. Help them to be able to change from one thing to another emotionally. And lastly, if you find it difficult to regulate your emotions, or you find that you're uncaring or ambivalent toward your own emotions or your children's emotions, it's okay to talk to a counselor or a therapist about that.
Apprenticeship. Apprenticeship is great. Again, I feel like I'm a broken record, but you have to know your kiddo. Kids will play us. they will figure out the path of least resistance. So knowing your kiddo, knowing how to make them do what you need them to do is key. And knowing the steps in an apprenticeship are powerful tools as you learn to parent and encourage your child to move forward, to learn, to become independent, and to do things and to be successful. It's amazing.